Hey everyone, Amar here. In this video I'm going to be talking about the masculine approach to developing core confidence. There's also a feminine approach which I'll talk about, but in this video specifically I wanted to talk about the masculine approach to getting more confidence. Before I get into the video, I would like to say that if you're new to the channel or you like this type of content, I really welcome you to subscribe so you can keep up to date with all my uploads. Also, if you're active on Instagram and you want kind of daily motivation, daily inspiration to keep you strong on the journey, go ahead, check me out on there as well. But without further ado, let's get into this video. How to develop core masculine confidence. Well, first of all, let's talk about what core masculine confidence is and what feminine confidence is. Or how do we develop it? I would suggest we develop feminine confidence through the healing work we do. Healing our traumas, healing our emotional wounds, all of this type of stuff that I've been talking a lot about over the years, right? All this inward facing approach, right? I would suggest it's more of the feminine path, and it's very, very valid. Everybody needs to do that, right? If you're just doing one without the other, you're not going to find true core confidence. But I wanted to talk about this topic specifically because I haven't really talked about it enough. So if you're someone who has done a lot of healing, but you still don't feel like you're confident enough, I feel if you were to implement more of the masculine approach to building core confidence along with the healing work, you're going to start to see some big shifts, right? So like I said, the feminine approach to developing confidence is healing yourself, right? Which is absolutely 100% necessary. But let's get into this masculine approach, right? So first of all, what is confidence? I would say confidence, if I could define it for myself, would be your capacity to live life on your terms as much as possible, right? If you're a fully confident person, you feel comfortable or confident enough to be able to set your life up in a way that you want it to be, right? That's confidence. That's usually why you see people who have the best lives are confident, because they have the courage, the fortitude, and all of these skills, tenacity, which all come with confidence to set their life up in that way. But it's all coming from this core belief of confidence of that they're good enough and they respect themselves, right? So that's how I would define confidence. Someone who's able to set their life up in the way that they want, right? So the key areas that we define confidence in is socially, relationships. Most people want to feel socially confident around other people. You want to feel like you can be yourself, right? Like you don't have to put on a front or a mask or act like you're someone else. You just want to be able to be yourself, right? And if you're someone who's had anxiety in the past or low confidence, you'll understand that you can get very self-conscious. And self-conscious is one of the biggest indicators of you have low confidence, right? You're very much stuck in yourself. You can't just be almost and be comfortable and confident in following your natural impulses and just saying what you want to say and doing what you want to do within reason, of course. You don't want to be disrespectful or harm people, but just the confidence to be yourself around other people. People who lack confidence, who are usually self-conscious, struggle with this, right? I know this because I've been that person. Another place confidence is often defined is in how we show up in life, right? How we move toward things, if we pursue the things that we want in life, if we're able to set our lives up in the way that we desire, right? This all requires confidence. So if you don't feel like you're comfortable in social situations or you're able to set your life up in the way that you want, you're possibly lacking this valuable attribute or this valuable quality, whatever you want to call it, very likely, right? So how do we lose confidence? There's so many different ways or factors to this. It's such a complex subject. It's a whole nother video on its own, but I'll just give you some basic ideas. It's probably going to come from programming, negative experiences you've had, trauma, your conditioning, your family environment you grew up in, the society you grew up in, even your genetics, right? All of these things can contribute to how confident you are. Testosterone levels, hormonal levels, like your brain, like so many different areas of this. The good news is, even if you feel like you've got low confidence and you've had a very, very bad past and a lot of negative programming, you can still build it up, right? Over the years, you could potentially become a very, very confident person if you obviously do the work of healing yourself, like I've said, and this more outward approach to developing confidence. So these are the facets of confidence we need to consider. What is it? What does it look like? Why do we lack it? So more importantly now, how do we get more of it? Well, this all comes down to self-respect. So what I've come to understand is that self-confidence is a byproduct of self-respect. So if you respect yourself, you're going to hold yourself in higher esteem, right? You're going to have a higher regard for yourself. Therefore, you'll have more confidence. You'll feel like you are worthy and you feel like you can show up in a stronger way. Think about someone you see who you respect. How do you treat someone you respect, right? It could be anyone, a celebrity or a friend or, I don't know, whoever you know, right? You probably respect them because you maybe admire them. This is what you can feel about yourself, right? When you start to respect yourself, you start to admire yourself and you start to treat yourself better. And that's what we're trying to get here. We're trying to build self-respect. So a key way we can do this is actually moving towards things that we value. So you might value looking in good shape, right? You might value having a good body, right? You admire it. Every time you see someone who's in good shape, you admire it, you like it, right? But on the other side, you don't actually take action to achieve that for yourself, right? So this is a problem because this creates a split in yourself. On one hand, you admire and really value something, but on the other hand, you're not moving towards it, right? And this kind of like causes a break within you, and it causes you to lose respect for yourself, right? You just lose integrity with yourself because one part of you wants to go towards something, obviously, but then you don't do the work, right? You can't be bothered. You'd rather be doing something else. And this is applicable to all areas of life. If you admire and value something and you're not moving towards it, you're not going to respect yourself. You're really, truly not. And this isn't just about you getting what you want. It's an inner process, right? It's about you honoring who you are. It's not about you mistreating people. If you want bad things, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about things that are in your highest good, right? And so this is a big clue, like, what do you want? What do you value? And start to kind of really hold these things are important, right? That's what I would say. These things are a part of you and they're important. Don't let anybody tell you that what you value and what you want to move towards is not important. I'm coming from a strong spiritual background, and a spiritual background, a lot of the teachings say that desire is suffering. You probably heard these Buddha quotes. And on some level, that's true, right? But my approach to this stuff now is that you've got to really transcend something, you've got to master it. Not just hear some spiritual teachings and just say, I'm just going to bypass everything I want and I'm just going to go on this spiritual path. If you can transcend desire, then do it. I don't think it's that easy. But if you try to transcend desire, but you still have these desires, there's a problem then, right? That's a lack of integrity again, right? And you can't lie to yourself. But like I said, if you're on the spiritual path and you literally have transcended desires, you have no desire, then you're potentially free on some level. But if you still have them desires, then I think you've got to own them and honor them and move your life in that direction. Get that self-respect, because the more you move towards it, the more you're going to start to become whole, because that part of you that wanted something or valued something, and then the rest of you starts to like move toward it, you're together again, right? And this is what I'm saying. This is what you're going to have to do. And ultimately, when you're whole again, because you're moving in one direction, you're not split, you respect yourself more, right? As you keep moving towards it, you get more respect for yourself. That translates into greater confidence. You hold yourself in higher regard. When you're more confident and you keep moving towards whatever it is, you're more likely to get it because you take more courageous action, right? You keep moving further towards it and you respect yourself even more. So it becomes like this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you just get more confident, you move closer to what you value and you just get more and more confident, everything gets better and better and better, right? Ultimately, the goal is you literally attain everything you value and then you let it go. You transcend it. And that takes you onto the spiritual path. The true spiritual path, at least the spiritual path that I'm on, is to master all these areas of life that are important to me and then go beyond them. So that's what's going to help you develop true core competence. Honoring what you value, moving towards it, right? Taking action towards it. That's why I say it's the masculine approach, because you've got to take action. Like I said, the feminine approach is valid as well. Everybody's got to do that. You've got to go inward and heal all your emotional wounds and traumas. Combined with the outward approach, you're going to become a very, very confident individual, right? And just have that mindset of like, nothing will stand in my way, right? Literally bulldozer your way through. And the sooner you can do this, the more powerfully you can do this, the more you're going to grow, right? So this is something I discovered myself. And that's why I like calling them the two opposite sides of confidence, but you need them both. Build that self-respect by moving towards what you value and watch your life change inwardly and outwardly. Okay, but that is everything I have to talk about in this video. If you did enjoy it, if you could please go ahead and give a like, share, subscribe, really helps me out. Check out my book if you haven't already. I'll put a link down below. But until next time, remember to keep living free and being free. Peace.